Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street, family owned and operated, always the best value.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios. Here is your host, Derek Pearson. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! In your face! Happy Sunday. Lincoln, Nebraska is gorgeous. Gorgeous this morning. Gorgeous. 71 degrees currently. Sun's out. Buns and guns are out in Lincoln. Runners are out. It's been an exceptional weekend. Harrison Orange manning the board. The Sutter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. Since we're live, you can text in. You can follow us on all the video streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo Channel 961. If you need a reminder to download the Ticket app, great time to do so. Get it done on a Sunday so you have it throughout the course of the week. It's a busy week coming up, so lots to stay connected on. Of course, we're live on the stream now since the Royals are on the brick and mortar, but that's good. You get twice for your money, and being that both are free, well done.
Especially on a Sunday, you can just put them both on.
Right. Well done. Well done to that. Couple of things I want to cover in this hour. And in an exceptionally busy sports weekend, a few things happened over the course of that. So I want to recap some of those things along the way and then set the tone for the rest of the week, the rest of the day and the rest of the week. Yesterday, men's tennis made their first appearance in over a decade in the NCAA tournament. They fell to Baylor 4-1, battled all the way through. Shout out to Peter Krobelt and the tennis program for an exceptional year. That's an exceptional year, making the tournament for the first time in over a decade and putting yourself, all Big Ten performers as well. Shout out to them. A record-breaking attendance at Bowlin Field yesterday. Over 3,000 Husker fans found their way down to support. It was really cool Alumni weekend as well, celebrating the 50 years of Husker softball. Of course, Peaches James was in town. Like a lot of the name Husker softball players were at the game. They had their own section. Shout out to Nebraska Athletics because they revised bowling where there's now bleachers that sit above the Huskers dugout.
Oh, okay.
And it was packed yesterday. The berm was packed, but these bleachers, and that's where a lot of the alumni and their guests were sitting. Over 3,000 fans to watch the Huskers in a 9-2 win. They've already won today, so it puts them in a positive flow heading towards the Big Ten tournament this week in West Lafayette, Indiana, as well. The Huskers have had quite the run. Jordy Ball led off today's game. She was on the she was in the circle. She played left field yesterday, but she was in the circle today, and then led off the offense for the Huskers with a leadoff home run to right center field, her 19th of the year. And so it's interesting times for Husker Athletic. Husker baseball has the opportunity to reach 500 today.
I still got the Minnesota series going on.
Yep.
Right now that they're in.
Yep. They're one game under 500. To me, yesterday was fun. Great walk-off win. But an opportunity to get to 500 before Creighton gets here on Tuesday. Creighton comes to town. It's a red out. Innings of winnings is the promotion. But 1 o'clock first pitch today down at Haymarket, an opportunity for the Huskers to find their way.
Yeah, they need these. They need to stiff arm these
to
teams.
500. Well, I mean,
because you got, Minnesota's below you. You want to keep that arm out, and then I think Purdue is as well. What's Purdue sitting at? Yeah, Purdue's 9-15 in the Big Ten. So Michigan, you can play a little bit of catch up. Otherwise, you're taking Purdue and Minnesota. You got to stiff arm them. You got to hold on to your life here so you can get into that Big Ten tournament.
Well, a win today puts them at 24-24. So you hit 500. It moves them to 11-13 in conference, right? And so for a lot of things in play, and we keep asking for this thing. And yeah, the Huskers are 11-8. They're better at home than they are on the road. And then the neutral, 3-3. But the out-of-conference business has to be handled. It just has to be handled.
I don't know what that is. It's been like this for Nebraska forever with Creighton and Omaha, and like we play these random non-con games, and they're always feels like getting the better of us. And I can't. Outside of the first term of the year, we always seem to come out pretty hot playing some of these other conferences, and then I couldn't tell you what that is in baseball.
Text line, let me know. Is so? I guess the way I would portray it is if you're from Nebraska and your son is a baseball player of note. What is the decision between choosing Creighton and Nebraska?
I think you're. Which town you like more? I don't know. Neither one's really the baseball school. For me, in the era of NIL, it's probably going to be money. But if it's really baseball, that probably changes every 5 years, looking at these teams' success.
Yeah, I did. I try to understand it as the outsider looking in. A big part of me wants to understand how is it that this program has difficulty with Creighton? It's not like basketball where Creighton has an obvious advantage. They've had a higher level of success, a more consistent level of success, and it's in Omaha, so that certainly plays into it. But is that the same for baseball? What is Creighton's
30-13 overall record?
30-13. So it's
11-3 in the Big East. So they're having a really good year.
And the Big East is not the Big Ten.
No,
when it comes to baseball. So we can speak to that because I
last big loss was Omaha, 11-5.
Yeah.
So I think it's just bizarre how they go play Omaha as well, and then they're because Omaha, and Omaha 7-24, 10-13 in the Summit, but somehow they catch Creighton. So there's something in this weird triangle. Even those guys are right next to each other that they just trading wins and losses.
Well, baseball is weird because there are smaller programs in the country that have more success than the bigger programs. So we always, my college coach figured it out pretty early that in some of the road games that we would schedule and out of conference games, if we went, so we would start in Richmond and we would go south. We would play against William and Mary. We'd go to Virginia Tech, Old Dominion. We rarely played Virginia. But then we would go across the border into North Carolina. You would face NC State. You would face North Carolina. Then you go further down in North Carolina. You'd play Charlotte. You play schools like Shawan, which were smaller. You go up to Murfreesboro, Tennessee. You go to South Carolina. You play Clemson, but you would play the Shawans of the world. And then we always knew when we got to Georgia and Florida that Seminole Junior College and DeKalb, the DeKalb branches of the University of Georgia,
They were good as
were always better.
Yeah.
They had better baseball players than the big programs. But these are folks that they didn't know none about the school, none about the academics, didn't care. These are the people that, look, I'm a baseball player. I got to do this at school to get looked at.
Yeah.
But
how many of those guys came from, I can't remember, because one thing just pulling a bunch of guys out of Central America, they found a hot pocket.
well,
really
you
good
go
baseball
to the
down
Dominican, but back then, these are the guys. It was so funny because when I remember, so my freshman year, we went down to DeKalb County, Georgia. And we had played Georgia Tech in Georgia and had much success. But their coach was like, hey, you're going down to DeKalb South. Bring your bats. And it was funny because in center field, there was this dorm with kegs on the balcony. And at 11 o'clock on a Friday, man, there's 500 people on the dorm patios pouring beer. And they could reach the center field. Like, they could reach the center field fence with the beer.
Sounds like a great seat to a game.
That's but
pretty
these are
awesome.
guys, but it looked like the Hatfields versus McCoys.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, these are, like, we're 19 baby faces, and these kids are, like, full beards.
You got
And,
a keg up there.
you're going out there, and, and we were playing, the best way to describe is that we were playing baseball, they were playing hardball.
I'm getting like the bench warmers where he has like the crayon that's just IM12 kind of vibe.
They were playing hardball. Dude may have gone to class that semester, maybe not. But they had 22 dudes, and I mean, they kept everybody that they brought in. Like, I think over the course of that weekend, we faced 9 pitchers. All of those dudes could sling. All those dudes could sling, and you're like, where are you getting these dudes? It's like, these are all the dudes who failed they failed out of Georgia.
They're taking some victory laps.
Like,
right
you failed
now.
out of
Yeah.
Georgia, and they just come to DeKalb, and they're just gonna go and throw fastballs at you. And then they brought in this one guy who looked, seriously, he looked like he had the longest, greatest, fullest beard of any pitcher I've ever seen. And his entire warm-up was him just pumping 90-mile-an-hour fastballs.
Stop.
Just heat.
No.
Heat. And I remember my buddy Dickie Dixon, who was our center fielder, was the first guy up. And so a new pitcher comes in, right? And you stand there, whoever's up on deck and in the hole, you kind of gather, and you're just kind of measuring, okay, how quickly is he getting there? What's his release point? How many points does he throw at you before the ball comes there? So we would always pay attention. Did he show you the bottom of his shoe, of his, of his swing leg? Does he throw the glove at you before the ball comes through? Bill of the cap, where is it? Does his head jerk on a breaking ball, or does it stand pat like it is on a fastball? All those things. So you're watching all this stuff. And back then, 90, if you threw 90 back then, you were a dude. Like, you were a dude. You didn't have a bunch of people throwing 90, 95, 96. No, you were a dude. And we all had revved up because he's pumping 90, and heavy 90, right? Not all 90s are the same. Some 90s kind of find their way up there. Some get heavier as they get to home plate. His was a heavy 90 and a late 90. And his first pitch, he knew that, most coaches back then weren't going to let you have a green light on the new pitcher to start an inning. Right, to start an inning. Fastball, 92, strike. And so now everybody, spit into the hands, squeeze the handle of the bat, rub it together to get yourself, I need to take a swing here to catch up to this 92. And he threw the most ridiculous breaking ball that I've ever seen.
Wait, you weren't batting? Were you batting?
No, I was
okay.
on deck. I was on deck. I was on deck, but I saw the breaker. And it was, what was that? To tell you that my guy in front of me swung a good 3 inches ahead of the ball. Because you were amped up for 92.
Oh, yeah.
And here's this 81 mile an hour breaking ball that broke up, down, and away.
You're swinging at that, especially if he's warming up with just straight heaters.
Just
straight 10, 90.
yard.
Yeah.
Straight taser, right? And you're just amped up that like it's going to be where it's going to be, right? It's going to be where it's at.
I think you might rather have
right.
That's brutal. Have a breaker ball come in.
But here's the thing. What I remember more about that, one, I remember the swing and the sound of the pitch. But what I remember more about that was the smile on this pitcher's face after he threw this pitch. Because the catcher throws the ball back and he's just like, got him. And there's no greater disrespect than a pitcher laughing at you or laughing at the moment, right? Because then, and the whole dugout was like, you're trying to be respectful to your teammate, but they're all looking at each other like, did you see that? So now it becomes curious. Like, what's he gonna?
What else does he have in the bag?
Yeah. Right? Because now you know.
Especially if he starts out, he pulls out another pitch, and then if he's got a whole arsenal, you're sitting there like
Harrison, 0-2, 92 mile an hour heater, wicked knuckle curveball almost is what this was. Because it broke up towards the right-handed hitter
right.
and then down and away. It ran away from the bat.
How hot was he throwing that one?
About 80.
Okay.
About 80. And so now you're just like, okay, well, we're going to wing it. He threw a knuckleball.
Oh, he had that in the arsenal too?
At 0-2, threw a knuckleball. And listen, my boy Dickie, the bat never moved. The bat never moved. And it's the only time I can remember in a game where Dickie literally just put the bat down in the batter's box and walked back to the dugout. Like he weren't.
That'll do it though. I mean, if you genuinely have a good knuckleball, I mean, it's like,
well,
what are you doing out there?
Who's pulling a rando knuckleball?
I don't know. This guy that you met down there in Georgia.
At DeKalb South, right? Like you just go, that's not even fair. Like, but it's the thing that happens. And so when I look at programs like this, like I try to figure out, okay, so what's Creighton doing? And I know, like, I'm friends with the Georgetown head coach. So whenever I go back east, I hang out with Georgetown baseball. And they don't have the most talented players. They have dudes, and they're well developed. But would I say that they have Nebraska's talent? No, absolutely not. But they find a way to beat Creighton in Omaha. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. But it makes perfect sense that styles make fights, styles make matchups. It's a big weekend for Nebraska baseball. Again, today's big. An opportunity to get to 500. You know, it would sound a whole lot different if Nebraska's record ever reached 30-24, right? Like to get on a roll here late in the season would be spectacular. Look, here's the part that I had to catch myself on because I was not aware. So Big Ten softball, Oregon clinched the Big Ten regular season championship this weekend. They are currently at 18-3 in conference. 18-3. UCLA, who they were playing, UCLA 17-4. And they're sitting at 16-5 is Nebraska. Third in the Big Ten Conference.
We got the best player in the conference right now.
I don't know that we do.
I
don't-
won't lie to you.
I don't-
I haven't watched enough.
I
Oregon
don't know.
to tell you.
Listen.
What does
I
Oregon
wanted
got
to
cooking?
ask that question, right? I wanted to ask that question yesterday, but in watching Oregon last night, Oregon and UCLA has a tandem, both 20 home run hitting players that hit back to back in the lineup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I was like,
I'm sorry, Bruins.
I was like, man, my bad. I did not know your talent, but my bad. And Oregon at 18-4 was just like, what are we doing? But to tell you that Nebraska sitting where they are, have an opportunity playing well, right? That they could actually get themselves a regional.
Mhm.
And that's the hope. A 38-12 year.
Who's that? Another women's program at Nebraska having a lot of success.
Right? I mean, you just go, okay. What they've done, and today was senior day, so they paid tribute and they won 9-1 today. So this is a pretty good weekend that they put up 24 runs, 24-3 against Maryland. It's a pretty dominant weekend headed into tournament next week.
Man, I can't catch a break. What men's do? 21-5 on them, I think? 21-4?
Put it up.
Yeah, so Maryland just not having a great time with the Scurs on either one.
Which is interesting because Maryland baseball is actually pretty good.
The opposite.
What the talent pool. And to tell you that other schools have the same problems Nebraska has. Maryland sitting in College Park, Maryland, which is they're 20 miles outside of DC.
Poacher's ground.
Yeah, but it's Maryland. So to tell you that I'm not sure that Maryland, the University of Maryland, is always the best baseball school in Maryland. Towson is right up the road in Baltimore. It does pretty well. Maryland Eastern Shore, Maryland, Baltimore County. Like there's some, but if you cross the border, I mean, literally 30 minutes away, I mean, Georgetown is winning 30 games a year in baseball. GW has a pretty good program right down the road. George Mason right across the border at 15 miles into Virginia. George Mason sits there. If you drive down the road to Fredericksburg, there's another program. If you go, William and Mary Washington, pretty good programs. All programs that recruited me. If you get to Richmond, it's VCU and Richmond. Old Dominion, Virginia Tech, Virginia, all of those are quality programs. Plus, you have the places like Liberty that have James Madison that have really good programs. So when you think about that
it becomes a nightmare a little bit.
It's really tough, right? It's really tough to recruit, and it's really tough. You have to develop. And remember that across the geography says that Virginia is sitting on a parallel with Nebraska. So some of the winter weather issue exists for the Virginia schools and the Maryland schools the same way it does for Nebraska and the Big Ten, is that not everybody wants to go and play the first 15 games wearing mittens when they're in the dugout. But that's a reality. But same as Nebraska, those schools figure out that I'm just going to go to Texas or Florida or go to Arizona for my first 10 games. Well, is that conducive to you having a successful start to your season every year? No, because you're never playing at home. You never get into a routine. You're literally playing on somebody else's schedule, on somebody else's field with no advantage in those first 10 to 15 games that you play.
I will say baseball was the one I really questioned. Pac-12 is going to win this one in terms of the conference realignment.
Right. But
UCLA,
the Pac-12 gets it its own way better than any other conference in America. That if you keep that right, I mean, think about it. I mean, you couldn't hold on to Oregon, Washington, USC, UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that the Big Ten, I thought it was a mistake to not just pull Cal, Stanford at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you're going to do all that, do this thing.
Oh man, 20. What would that put us at? 20?
Well, but that would have been perfect. It would have been perfect. And
SEC would gobble some more teams. We would, if they would have done that, we would officially just accelerated into, all right, we're here. The two mega conferences.
Well, it's a difference, right? Because it helps you win some of those other peripheral sports, and it makes you better at the Olympic sports.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Listen, if you play beach volleyball and you get to go to California, you won.
You take Stanford, all those, to get all the table tennis games, all that.
Well,
stuff.
but you're not you don't have rowing. You don't have, there's certain Olympic sports but you don't need that. You just need the partnership in the other sports. If you haven't gone to Stanford and played a basketball game in January, oh my goodness, well done. Well done. And so it's a part of the Big Ten and what they're finding out with these tournaments and the adjustments, and then whatever version of this thing evolves into come late May, early June, is that it won't be the same again.
Nope.
It won't be the same again. Whatever version of collegiate athletics exists right now will not exist in July, because you're going to have to do business differently. And what we know about when the businesses have to do business differently, it reaches the student athlete. It reaches the fan. It reaches how the games are presented. It reaches how the recruiting is done. It reaches community investment. It reaches everything.
Yeah.
And I would have said this: if I'm doing business in NCAA and I have the opportunity to include Cal Berkeley and Stanford,
yep, take that.
Sir, here's your card to get you to all the floors, and you'll have your own suite at the end of the hall.
Stanford's got its unique weight to throw around the room too.
Cal Berkeley, bro. What are we talking about?
This just tells you how close I was to those prestigious schools. I can name you the big ones, but Cal Berkeley, I'm sitting here like, huh?
Well, but I also asked this question because I thought that UVA was very Big Ten-ish. I thought the University of Virginia was more Big Ten-ish than Maryland. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I still feel that way.
I definitely feel that way. Maryland's always been an odd duck out there.
I thought certainly more than Rutgers.
Culturally, just the way it looks.
Certainly more than Rutgers, right? The recruiting type, the academic requests, standards that you have to meet, all those things.
I really
the type of business you're doing.
That's what kills me most is like the Big 8 was the best. Even though I didn't really fully grow up on that, but I mean, like, you just circle that region. It's like Iowa State, Nebraska. You put Kansas State, Colorado, and it's like this conference makes a whole lot of sense. It looks like the center of the country.
Right.
We should make a conference out of this.
And but it's also like then you get into the business of, is it easy to get into, airports, what's it like in the winter, and going to Charlottesville in the winter has its own thing, but it's still no different than getting into Chicago in the winter. Like, that's my thing, is that if you're going to say that travel is a big part of it, Chicago. That's my much easier to fly in Palo Alto than it is to fly into Chicago. But everybody wants to fly through Chicago because you have to.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So we'll throw it a break. We'll come back. More one-on-one here on the ticket.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
You grew up on cereal for breakfast and you graduated into drinking coffee at some point as an adult. Now there's a place in Lincoln where you can stay caffeinated but eat like you used to. Control Coffee and Cereal Bar brings Saturday morning vibes to every day with locally roasted specialty coffees, Lotus energy drinks, and tons of breakfast cereals with toppings. And did we mention they have video games to play while you're there too? Control Coffee and Cereal Bar open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the weekends at 15th and Pine Lake.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Beautiful Sunday.
Hello, Lincoln. DP One-on-One. Harrison Orange, man of the board. Keeping us on time and on purpose. Pretty amazing. Again, when Lincoln's alive,
hard to complain.
You never know what you're gonna. You never know what it's like Forrest Gump and chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get.
You really don't.
This window gets you the business, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. We'll wait other times. Patreon, you guys can figure it out.
How funny is that? I love it that you got caught up. Like I
wanted to I was like out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, I think, and I was like, okay, yeah, he's on same way.
Yeah, you just go. Did we just see what we just saw? Yes, we did. Bravo. A special night in Lincoln, Nebraska on Saturday. Last night, two events were going on. So Tom Osiaga and the folks from the complex had quite the event, Clyde Johnson being the main event. And that was a great card and apparently a great turnout as well. And then at Pinnacle Bank Arena, Dynasty Combat had a full event with a great crowd. And the features were all over the place. Of course, the Minner boys, both Brady and Brett fought. They went 1-1 last night. But the story for Husker fans was that two former Husker wrestlers made their pro debuts. And shout out to Bubba Wilson for his rear naked choke victory in the first period last night at his debut. You could see it lock in. He was, his grappling got him in an advantage, and then he started the hammer fist, and the guy gave up his back, and Bubba said, "Thank you. Your neck is mine. It belongs to me now." And he clamped down on it, and the guy tapped out pretty quickly. Tyler Berger successful in his debut as well. Really good card. 16 bouts at Pinnacle Bank Arena. And based on the activity in downtown Lincoln last night, I would say it was a very good night for that as well. Yesterday was interesting, again, because you had Alumni Day at softball at Bowling. You had an exceptional day, beautiful, gorgeous weather for baseball. Both of them getting wins, and then two successful events again last night. Of course, you had the race this morning, which set Lincoln up and set it on fire. And again, we're still seeing the residual effects of an event day in downtown Lincoln.
Yeah, 2 Game 7s yesterday too. Between the two of the Colorado, there's some more NHL games. There's a lot. This was a loaded sports.
Well, I thought about this that in like Denver. I don't know why you can't have 2 Game 7s for Denver in the same town at the same night.
And
30 minutes apart.
Especially if you're the Nuggets, what are you doing?
Well,
got the Kentucky Derby though. He's trying to watch that. And you got Game 7 with the Kentucky Derby
to follow, right? Because again, it's Game 7, so the Avs were on the road, but you still want to follow, of course.
Yeah.
The Nuggets
was 7:00 and the Nuggets were 6:30.
Yeah, 30 minutes apart. I didn't even check to see what the Rockies were doing. I don't even know why they played. Check and see, were the Rockies playing yesterday, last night? I find out if they were playing, but I mean that would also be a thing. And it sets up an interesting day.
Yeah, they did. They lost 3-6.
Were they at home or were they on the road?
No, they were playing the Giants on the road.
Okay, so there was at least that. But that you didn't have the thing where like nobody showed up to your game. Nothing like having a party that nobody would come to. And there were other parties, right? You just go, oh, well, now we know why they didn't come. Can I ask you your take on the scooters, the electric scooters?
Here in Lincoln?
Yeah.
I mean,
have you ever taken them?
Yeah, I hate them just because I'm like, this is the biggest ripoff I've ever seen. The amount of money they charge you, it's like,
what are they? I don't even know. I've never used one.
Oh man, they run you up like crazy for the amount of miles. I'm pretty sure I did it the one time, and I just remember I'm not a big app guy. And anytime you got to tell me I got to download another app so I can purchase this, and then make sure to connect your card and it's the app. Get out of my face. No, I'll just use my legs.
You're already the get off my lawn guy. And how old are you now?
Yeah, 26.
Sorry, 26. Yeah. You made it to get off my lawn already.
Unfortunately.
That means you've been hanging out with a lot of old dudes.
It's kind of a small town. You end up with, that's what you got around you. You get along or be silent.
That is spectacular that you're already that dude.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. They are fun, but like, I just think crazy.
That's so funny.
Crazy expensive.
That's so funny. But it's a great day. It's a great day for sports. It's such a good thing. This window is the best. This is why I say, and here's the other thing. Like, so I have a real, like a top of my list peeve when we don't have the TV on in the production suite, because I know that people like to, like, so if they're walking towards 8th Street or towards 10th Street, that they see the studio. And if they're not familiar with the studio, they stop, they stare, and then they get to the second window and they go, oh, that's what's going on. Like, not a real idea. But if they come the other way, they see the TV first. And it's like, oh. And then they see us. And it's like, oh, okay. And then I had people come in last week and they asked, they said, so were we on TV just now walking? I said, you can be. We can put you on if you want. Like,
it always kind of cracks me up, especially because like right now we got all TVs 1 through, I think it's 9 or whatever in there. It's clearly all on TV. And my favorite thing is people, especially little kids, they'll be like, are we on TV? It's like, I mean, there's 9 of them to verify.
To put you right, it's really a
you can walk
thing.
by anytime.
It's really a thing to watch people's, and then when people walk in. So even this morning, there are people that came in for coffee, and their thing is, oh, they're on TV right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, that's how that works. And then the questions began. Okay, so the camera, where are the cameras, and how many cameras do you have, and how many microphones? And it's interesting, but it's part of why we do what we do. Is that giving that vibe, that extra thing to downtown Lincoln?
Yeah, I don't know who it is. Someone runs here like every night, and they always wave.
Yep.
No, I've never met the person in my life, but I think they're just like doing their nightly run, and it's like. It's
it's the people who walk, right? It's the guys, because there are a couple of guys that walk through and they always give their hands up and then they go sit on the patio.
Yeah, those guys are pretty cool.
Because the Wi-Fi is still pretty good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once you get the password from inside, you can sit on the patio and do your work or have a cup of coffee or enjoy yourself. And again, that was part of the plan. Okay, so the bird, I don't even have this answer. You see the bird that sits on the branch?
Yeah.
Okay, who put that there? Is that the city?
And that's a phenomenal question. I want to say it was like an early break listener at some point, because there's a lot of tomfoolery going on when we first moved down here.
The early breakers are just,
because they were they labeled the trash cans, which is just what I loved. Good job, early breakers.
Yeah,
trash can. It's like, I think Sipple was one of the trash cans. Jake Sorensen was the pole. Can't remember what Bill was, but I think the parrot was somehow involved with it. I could be wrong.
Well, we always have fun, because how many people who like pregame and postgame for Husker football who lose battles with that pole?
Oh, that pole's, I'm pretty sure.
That pole's got a championship belt around it.
Undefeated.
That pole. And it's just a light pole. It's just a lamppost.
Yeah, that doesn't tell you have a few drinks and all of a sudden it's got some wheels on it.
Like
you think it's hitting you with a hard cut.
It's like it's there. It never moves. How did you not? And I can honestly say I've never been here for a post game and not watch somebody walk right into that pole.
I mean, it's a 1-2 punch, right? The pole's there, but we're the distraction.
Well, that's the other part. They said this. So when we asked the city for the ability to put the marquee up, a big question was, accidents, right? Because if people are looking up at the marquee, they're not watching the road. And I'm like, oh yeah, but do we want those people driving really? Like, do we? Like, isn't that really a good sign for a good thing for us to do, is to make people focus?
And it turns out that wasn't even the problem. It was
it's
the pole,
not the problem.
Hey, city, the pole that you actually have here is
well, and they're always coming from 10th Street. They're always coming from 10th Street. Yeah. Because if they're coming the other way, the trash can gets in the way first. But I never see anybody walking to the trash can. I always see people walking to the pole.
I don't know what it is about that pole. Maybe because it's kind of green, and then when it gets dark out, it kind of blends
or whatever.
When it gets dark too, now it's like a dark green kind of fade.
But we have lights right here at the window that would draw you.
Yeah, but there's something causing people to shoulder check this thing during Husker football Saturday. So I don't know.
You would want them to draw themselves to the light. Go to the light. Walk to the light, Emily Ann. That's it. But it's constant. And the people who drive by, it's also another thing for them to look in the window. It's pretty cool that, again, this is a thing we get to do and sit down here in the middle of it and watch people go through and do their thing. But we'll throw it to break. We'll come back. We'll close up before we hand over to Bill's Thrills. But I do want to go over the NBA schedule for the rest of the day. There's 2 games tonight. There is, and I'll ask you if there's another 2 better words. People say the 2 best words in sports is Game 7. I'm just, is it? We'll talk about it when we come back to one-on-one.
DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
You grew up on cereal for breakfast and you graduated into drinking coffee at some point as an adult. Now there's a place in Lincoln where you can stay caffeinated but eat like you used to. Control Coffee and Cereal Bar brings Saturday morning vibes to every day with locally roasted specialty coffees, Lotus energy drinks, and tons of breakfast cereals with toppings. And did we mention they have video games to play while you're there too? Control Coffee and Cereal Bar open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the weekends at 15th and Pine Lake.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Final segment before we hand it over to Bill's Thrills. Full afternoon and evening of ticket, sports, conversations all the way through the evening. Harrison will hand it over to Bach. Bach will run us through Ms. Spence, Chris Kolarvik, Vicki Simmons, etc. Nuclear Heat, a full day of content for you here on the ticket. And then the regular lineup of folks on Monday, starting at 6 a.m. with early break. Of course, Jake Sorensen is in Hawaii. And I got a text from him Friday night. he's flying through. So I believe he flew to Denver and then to Hawaii. But he says he got to Hawaii, and as soon as he got off the flight, he ran into Ron Romero, who was on the same flight. So the former owner of the ticket, Ron Romero, was on the same flight with Jake going to Hawaii. And he sent me a picture. He's like, "Yeah, little did I know."
That's weird odds.
Yeah,
out of all the places, Hawaii, which
well,
right.
Here's the thing when Becky and I went to Hawaii, for the basketball tournament, the season,
yeah.
Right? It was, we ran into Marna and her family from Link to Literacy because they were going to the basketball tournament as well.
What was it, the Diamond Classic or something?
Yeah, and they were on both of the
that
same
one. I could see a little bit more. Jake just showing up there for one random vacation.
Right. And then, as a matter of fact, like they sat literally next to us. So, it's always interesting how the world play out. But we're headed to Los Angeles. Becky acquired VIP passes to American Idol. So we're gonna go to LA and hang out with with a couple of friends from Dallas.
Yeah, like LA. You seem like, I don't know. I guess you maybe don't.
I lived in LA, so I'm not. I don't. Okay, so that's an interesting thing. So I lived in Orange County, so I lived in Brea, but back and forth. And the team that I was working for, we actually played in LA proper. So I would have to go from Orange County to Los Angeles every day, back and forth, which is 4 hours of your day, no matter how you like it. Like you got to deal with 2 hours of travel when it's perfect. Love the weather, this stuff. Traffic is never. Nobody loves traffic like that. And that you have to plan so much part of your day not being connected to people. And we're less connected. We were less connected then than we are now. With cell phones.
Terrifying me in LA, just the traffic and not knowing.
2 hours, 3 hours, no time. Didn't matter what time of day it is. If you're going to a game, you got to plan for that. If you're going to work, you got to plan for that. You're going home, you got to plan for that. But this is in Hollywood, so we'll be, in the area. We'll eat well, visit some things. I did find out that the Orioles are in Anaheim, which is doable. And then American Idol gives you a whole list of things that you, especially in the VIP seats, because they said you're going to be on TV, that all the things you can't wear a logo, you can't wear, they tell you not to wear white. There's certain things that there's all sorts of things. You can't wear heels.
Really?
And I would imagine that and you have to be there an hour before. There's a whole list of things that you have to be able to do to go watch an Idol show being recorded, performed, or otherwise. And it's the full performance. And Becky has followed it completely. Normally, I've been an Idol fan through all of it. I haven't caught up on this year, so I'll spend some time this week getting caught up on who the finalists are. But she says this is the best year ever. This is the most talented year, and it's not even. She said this year is like if you took all the previous winners and put them in one competition.
Man, see, I can't. It's been a while. I just remember. I don't remember any of the people's names. It was Simon. Who was the girl?
Simon's no longer. Paula Abdul's not there. Now it's Carrie. It's not Blake. It's the other country singer.
Underwood?
There's another country singer.
Carrie
Underwood, but there's another male country singer.
Oh.
They've gone through their evolutions of it. But of course it's still, the same host, and Lionel Richie is still there. So, but she says it's the best year. So I'll spend some time this week. We leave on Thursday morning, I think. We're back next Wednesday. So I'll have to remind you that a couple of times that I won't be available this week. Now that I think about it, yeah. Well, look at Chubbs out there. He's looking. Chubbs is on the tree.
He's been hanging out quite a bit.
He gets fed here.
Yeah.
He gets fed here. Luke was giving him cookies.
I tried to. There's a squirrel right by my apartment. I thought
if you walk slow and then he'll come up and get on his hind legs, which let you know. I'll go up after the break. I'll go get some seeds if he's out there and leave him out there. I keep him in my bag now. It makes more sense.
They're talking about Chubbs for a bit there. It's like, hey man, you guys are getting really close to me. It's like, yeah, just keep him in my bag. We'll take a walk through Lincoln. That's the goal, DP. If you can
I keep
fully tame him.
I keep them in the bag, and then there's another squirrel that has figured it out, and he's figured out it's like he was watching, because Chubbs will get on his hind legs and wave his arms like this to let me know that, hey, I'm fully engaged. I'll put on a show for you, bro. I got you covered. But this other squirrel came up yesterday and was kind of like, hey, I saw that this works. Do I get seeds? And I'm like, look at him. Look, he's looking at the building. He's like, bro, where you at? Look at him. He's coming. I told you. Chubbs knows, man. He knows. Like, these squirrels, man, they know the deal, bro. You can't make this up. I'm just telling you, they pay attention.
Well, they've been living in Lincoln for about as long as we have now. So
yeah, it's a good thing.
You're aware.
We appreciate you hanging out. Harrison, get us out of here.
Absolutely. This has been impromptu version of One-on-One with DP. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos as always. Make sure to get myself on camera here. We will have Bill's Thrills up next, and then we will continue on with our normal Sunday programming. I'll hand things over to Jake Bachman once he's here, but don't go anywhere. Like I said, plenty here on Ticket Sundays.